Hello guys, this is Kevin here. Today I'll be doing another video where I search up on Google some of the top piano questions and answer some of them. Here we go. I have here an incognito tab, or I'm not logged into my Google account. This is to make the search relatively fair so that there are no previous searches I have pop up. Why is piano? Okay, here we go. Why is piano so hard to learn? Well, first thing first, piano is one of those instruments where you have to read two lines of music, treble clef and bass clef usually. These are the two clefs you deal with for piano. And obviously, at certain times, your right hand has to play bass clef or your left hand has to play treble clef, which usually that means crossing hands, or if your right hand plays low. You have 88 keys on the piano, the white keys and the black keys. The white keys look the same, the black keys look the same. And, there's no size difference, unlike a guitar where the frets generally get narrower and narrower. There's not that. You have to press 3 different pedals on the piano. And an acoustic grand piano and an acoustic upright piano, the pedals have different functions. Well, generally the middle one. Lastly, you have to play MIDI notes at the same time, both for left hand and right hand. And you have to read MIDI notes at the same time, both left hand and right hand. And that's generally what makes piano such a difficult instrument. And of course, today there's just 4-chord pop songs you can play. And that's not too difficult once you get some experience. But you have to play a lot of fast passages, the classical, the jazz, many forms of music. And that's why piano is so difficult. It's easy to get into, but it's difficult to master. Let's see, I'm going to skip the piano tab. Why is piano a percussion instrument? Well, generally, I don't know how to categorize piano. Some say it's a string instrument, some say it's a percussion. But for me, it is a percussion instrument because, one thing, your hand is striking the keys. Another thing is that the hammer of the piano is striking the strings. Now, why is piano popular and why is piano a good instrument? I'll answer those two together. Piano is a popular instrument because it is easier than a lot of other instruments to get into. Now, when we talk about violin, a beginner that picks up a violin, gets their bows tighten and try to make a nice sound out of it, almost impossible. A guitar, a beginner, unless if you just strum through an open, it's probably not going to sound too good, the beginner. And a woodwind and brass instruments, it is so hard to even make a sound out of it. Obviously, nothing against those instruments, they're all fantastic. But if you get a piano and assuming that it's in tune, even a little kid can go up, press down a note, and it will make a generally good sound. Also, a piano is one of the easiest instruments to visualize. And you see, generally, when we talk about music theory, you will have a keyboard as a reference. Another thing why piano is good for you is obviously, as I said earlier, it trains you to read 2 lines of music at the same time. You have the treble and bass clef, which of course, once you do transition to another instrument where it does read bass clef, such as let's say if I want to go play cello, and they sometimes read bass clef, and I will have no issues with reading bass clef. And final reason is that, because it is such an instrument where it allows you to play both the melody and the bass, it allows it to be both a solo instrument and also an accompanying instrument. So what I mean is that you see all different kinds of artists playing classical music, solo classical music, accompanying jazz piano, or you can simply just play 4-chord piano, pop music, or pop music on piano, I should say. And that is what it makes the piano such a great instrument. And why is piano good for you? Well, I already told you. It's an instrument that you can kind of pick up, and then once you transfer to a different instrument, it'll be easier. Not saying, what's the questions on here? I don't think it's easy. Now, why is piano wire so sharp? Let's actually dive deep into this. Oh, that's interesting. Let's take a look at this, actually. Yes, I was told that piano should not be destroyed without first loosening the wires, because the wires are under very high. Yeah, that's true though. These piano wires are under extreme tension and can cause a great damage. You won't imagine it though. Yeah. Anyways, these are like generally the two questions that I can answer out of these, and I hope you like this video.